Hello, everyone. Coach Will here. You all know that I'm a communication coach, but I also have a deep passion for another kind of coaching, American football. It's a sport that can seem a little confusing at first, but once you understand a few key rules, it's one of the most exciting games in the world. Today, we're going to break down the fundamentals of American football. We'll cover the goal, the basic rules, the scoring, and the key players you need to know. By the end of this lecture, you will be able to watch a game and understand exactly what's happening. Let's get started. The goal of the game. The goal of American football is simple: to score more points than your opponent. You score points by getting the ball into your opponent's end zone, which is the marked area at each end of the field. The field is 100 yards long, with an end zone at each end. The team's job is to move the ball down the field and cross the opponent's goal line. The basics of play. The game is played with two teams on the field at once. The game is a series of short plays. The offense gets 4 chances, called downs, to advance the ball at least 10 yards. The play begins with the snap, where a player on the offense, the center, passes the ball between his legs to the quarterback. Once the ball is snapped, the quarterback can either pass the ball to a teammate or hand it off to a running back, or run with it. What happens if the offense does not gain 10 yards in 4 downs? If they fail to gain 10 yards, the possession of the ball goes to the other team. But on the fourth down, the fourth attempt, the offense can punt the ball, which is when they kick the ball as far downfield as possible, forcing the other team to start deep inside their own area. Or if they're close, preferably inside the 50-yard line, they might try to kick a field goal, which will reward them with 3 points. There are a few ways to score points in football: touchdowns, extra points, field goals, or safeties. Touchdown, worth 6 points. This is the main way to score. You get a touchdown when the player carries the ball into the opponent's end zone or catches a pass inside the end zone. After a touchdown, the team that scored gets a chance to score an additional 1 or 2 extra points. It will be 1 point if they kick the ball through the goalposts, similar to a field goal. Or they will get 2 points if they pass or run into the end zone, the same way you make a touchdown, but at a shorter distance. Field goal, 3 points. If the offense can't get a touchdown, they might try a field goal. A player kicks the ball between the opponent's goalposts and it's worth 3 points. Safety, 2 points. A safety is rare, but it happens when the offensive player with the ball is tackled in their own end zone. It gives the defense 2 points. Offense. In American football, the offense has 11 players on the field with distinct rules. These players can be divided into two main groups: the offensive line and the skill positions. The center, the leader of the offensive line who snaps the ball to the quarterback to start each play. They are responsible for making sure the other linemen know their blocking assignments. Guards. There are 2 guards, one on each side of the center. They are strong interior blockers who help protect the quarterback and open up running lanes. Tackles. There are 2 tackles, one on each side of the guards. The left tackle is often considered the most important offensive lineman, as they protect the quarterback's blind area, his back, which is called the blind side. Skill position, 6 players. These players handle the ball and are responsible for moving it up and down the field and scoring points. Quarterback, the leader of the offense. The quarterback receives the snap from the center and then either hands the ball off to a running back, passes it to a receiver, or he can run with it. Running back. This position is primarily responsible for carrying the ball on running plays. They can also catch passes and block for the quarterback. Some teams also use a fullback, a larger running back who specializes in blocking. Wide receivers. These players line up on the outer edges of the formation and are known for their speed and agility. Their main job is to catch passes from the quarterback. Tight end, a versatile player who lines up next to the offensive tackles. They can either act as an extra blocker on running plays, pass plays, or they can go out to catch passes like a receiver. The defense also has 11 players on the field, with the goal of preventing the offense from scoring by tackling ball carriers, defending passes, and forcing turnovers. Defensive players are generally characterized in three main groups: the defensive line, linebackers, and defensive backs. Defensive line, 3 to 4 players. These players line up at the line of scrimmage, directly opposite the offensive line. Their primary roles are to rush the quarterback and stop running plays. Defensive tackles. These players are usually the largest on the defensive line and play in the interior. Their job is to stop runs up the middle and pressure the quarterback from the inside. If there's only one defensive tackle, they might be called a nose tackle, especially in a 3-4 defense. Defensive linemen, 4 linebackers. Defensive ends. These players line up on the outside of the defensive tackles. They are responsible for containing outside runs and rushing the quarterback from the edges. Linebacker, 3 to 4 players. Linebackers play behind the defensive line and are versatile players who can rush the passer, defend against the run, and cover receivers. The middle linebacker, often called the quarterback of the defense. The middle linebacker is typically responsible for calling out defensive plays and reacting to a variety of offensive actions. They are crucial for stopping runs and covering passes over the middle. Outside linebackers. These linebackers play on the outside and have diverse roles, including rushing the passer, setting the edge against outside runs, and covering tight ends or running backs. Defensive backs, 4 to 5 players, also known as the secondary. These players line up deepest in the defense and are primarily responsible for covering receivers and defending against passes. Cornerbacks. Cornerbacks typically line up opposite wide receivers, side to side, and are tasked with covering them to prevent catches, break up passes, or intercept the ball. Safeties. There are generally 2 types of safeties. A strong safety, he often plays closer to the line of scrimmage, helping against the run and covering tight ends. And free safety typically plays deeper in the secondary, covering deep passes and acting as the last line of defense. Teams often vary their defensive formations. For example, a 4-3 defense. It has 4 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers. Or a 3-4 defense with 3 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. This is based on their strategy and on the offensive scheme of the team that they are facing. Special teams are specialized groups of players in American football who are on the field during kicking plays. These units are often comprised of players who don't have a starting role on offense or defense, though some key players may be dual role. Special teams can be crucial to a game's outcome, as they can directly lead to points, set up good field position, or create a momentum swing. There are 4 primary types of special teams units. The kickoff team, the unit that kicks the ball to start a half or after a score. Their job is to kick the ball as far as possible and then race downfield to tackle the ball carrier, hopefully pinning the opposing team deep in their own territory. Kickoff return team, the unit that receives the kickoff. Their goal is to create a blocking wall to allow the return specialist, the guy who catches the ball, to get as much yardage as possible. Punt team. This unit comes on the field when the offense is on its last down, usually the 4th down, and has failed to gain a first down. The goal is to kick the ball deep into the opponent's territory, giving them poor field position. The punt return team. This unit lines up to receive the punt. Their main objective is to either catch the punt and return it for yardage or a fair catch to secure the possession. They may also attempt to block the punt. Field goal extra point unit. This unit is responsible for attempting a field goal or an extra point after a touchdown. The offense's goal is to successfully kick the ball through the uprights for points, while the defensive goal is to block the kick. Key special teams players. Kicker, responsible for kickoffs, field goals, and extra points. This player must have a strong and accurate leg. Punter, a specialist who punts the ball on fourth down to change field position. Their job is to kick a high, long ball that is difficult for the returner to handle. Long snapper, a specialized center who snaps the ball directly to the punter or holder. They must be able to deliver a fast and accurate snap from a distance. Holder, this player receives the snap from the long snapper and places the ball on the ground for the kicker during a field goal or extra point attempt. Returner, the player who fields kickoffs and punts. They are often one of the fastest and most elusive players on the team, with the goal of breaking away for a long return or touchdown. Gunners, fast players on the punt team who line up on the outside. Their job is to sprint downfield immediately after the snap and tackle the punt returner. Jammers, players on the punt team who line up opposite the gunners. Their job is to block or jam the gunner to prevent them from getting to the returner. Conclusion. So there you have it, the basics of American football. It's a game of strategy, speed, and power. And by understanding the concepts of offense, defense, special teams, downs, and scoring, you can truly appreciate the excitement of the sport. I couldn't cover everything here, it would have taken a long time, but I gave you enough to get started. I hope this helps you get a handle on the game. Your challenge now is to watch a football game with a friend and try to identify the downs, the key players in the scoring plays, and understand what's going on. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next lesson.